On deck circle again. Why not? He's 5 for 12, and he's got the highest average on the Rockies club. Steve Reed's 1 for 2. Weiss takes outside, 1-1. Now, sevens are wild in Chicago. It's 7-7 in the seventh. Weiss rips one foul outside of first past J.R. Phillips. Put a 0 on the board the hard way in the top of this inning. First two guys on, then the Rockies turn a double play, and Burks makes an excellent catch running into the fence. 1-2 pitch to Walt. Just inside, 2-2. Weiss with 97 base on balls this year, second only to Barry Bonds in the National League. Came in fourth in on base percentage in the league, a remarkable achievement for an 8th place hitter. Foul back, count stays 2-2. Well, we mentioned about the Giants getting their leadoff man out, and the Rockies have gotten theirs on twice today and have scored on both occasions. Eric Young tripled in the first, and he scored. And Mark Thompson singled in the third, and he came in to score on the home run by Eric Young. Full count to Weiss. Charlie, do you think Eric Young has just a little bit of hand in him?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. He always rises to the occasion. The bigger the occasion, the higher he rises. Oh, yeah.
Weiss out of play.
And I told you about the cap falling off. When he told me that in the club, he was just grinning from ear to ear. So you knew that somewhere along the line, I didn't know it was going to be the bottom of the first in the triple, that he was going to take off in the batting helmet, the cap was all going to go flying. And it did.
3-2, the count to Walt. Fly ball to left. Bonds should get this one. And Walt battled, but Leiter beat him, and it's 1 out here in the 4th inning.
On the wide concourse here.
They're also glancing over their shoulder at the television sets in the concourses to make sure they aren't missing anything. Mark Thompson singled his last time up. 5 for 12 on the season. Well, Mark Leiter's retired the 3 batters he's faced. Got help from Matt Williams. Thompson fly ball right field side. Carrion's battling that tough sun again. Benjamin makes the catch, and I think Carrion's very happy that Benjamin did. He had a better angle. 2 up, 2 down in the Rockies' 4th. And here's Ely, who ought to get a nice ovation. Triple home run, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Looping drive to center. Bernard did not get a good start, but he has to play it on the hop. And Marvin Bernard, who had played very brilliantly on defense, has had 2 lapses here today. He took 2 steps back, and Ely has a single, so he's only a double away from hitting for the cycle.
Here it is, trying to recover with a sliding grab. And Ely now with a single, the triple, and the home run. The story within the story, but a 2-out base hit. And here's Joe Girardi, the ball club down by 2.
Girardi hit a home run against Leiter here on Friday night. You can see his career numbers. Ely will dive back. In fact, Charlie, you have a feeling if Ely's hamstring were 100%, he probably would have had a double, but he was conserving it because he really thought Bernard was going to catch that ball. Girardi pops it up foul. I don't know. Manuel appears. Do they have room? No. Ooh, boy. All right, Kurt. He wasn't going to get any help from the Rockies.
No, everybody just kind of steps back and stays away.
If he misses a ball and then takes a header, then Don Baylor would have been there to catch him. But the only time you get help is when you're going to your own dugout.
Thinking about Mark Leiter, is this a situation where over the weekend he came to Dusty and said, if you need me, it's going to be the last game for us. We're out of it, and I'll be ready to go. I'll give you 2, 3, whatever I can.
I think absolutely.
It's called leadership, too.
Here's a guy that was out of baseball from 1986 through 1988. 3 different shoulder surgeries, and it's been a long road for him. No balls and a strike.
He appreciates being back.
He does.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, EY was picked out. And he will be tagged out. I don't know if he was running or not, but Leiter hung him out to dry, and that's the second time Leiter's picked off a Rocky in the series. He got Ellis Burks Friday.
Can a car that pushes the envelope of design and technology hold the line when it comes to price? Consider the innovative Dodge Stratus. There's an advanced multi-valve engine, dual airbags, air conditioning, cassette stereo. In fact, more standard features than Ford Contour, Nissan Altima, and Honda Accord. More passenger room, too. And Stratus offers one more innovation, better value, and a price starting at just $14,995. Dodge Stratus. It's full of answers.
The power was out and I was thirsty. I felt the bottle with straight sides. Could have been a soft drink. Could have been cough syrup. Then I felt a curved bottle and I could already sense that distinctive taste in the back of my throat. Grabbing the shapely Coca-Cola Classic, I retrieved a box of animal crackers. And after taking that first satisfying sip from that Coca-Cola bottle, I shook a few animal crackers into my open mouth. Bummer. Baking soda.
Time to test your baseball savvy for the last time this year with a Colorado Lottery Trivia Quiz.
The Rockies would love to think about playing in the 1995 World Series, but which teams played in the very first one? As we do see snow in the mountains.
Oh, isn't that a gorgeous shot? Is that the Vince cam? Nope, that's just one of the 11 cameras that we have here. Great coverage.
J.R. Phillips starts it off against Mark Thompson, who needs to keep holding the Giants down. Finally, both sides put zeros up in the 4th inning. 1 strike as Thompson gets ahead of Phillips. J.R. with a long home run and then a base on balls in the 3rd inning. He has really hurt the Rockies this year. Bouncing ball towards Z.Y. Rockies are going to get the leadoff man out. And that was a little bit of an in-between hop. J.R. Phillips has 2 game-winning RBIs against the Rockies this year.
It's almost cause for celebration, isn't it?
Get that leadoff man?
Yes.
Indeed, Rich Aurelia. But you only get to celebrate for about 20 seconds when second coming of Honus Wagner steps in, Rich Aurelia. Who is this guy and where did he come from? AA and AAA this year. Strike 1. The New York Yankees have clinched a wild card spot in the American League with a 6-1 win over Toronto. They ran the table against the Blue Jays. Beat them last weekend 4-3 in Toronto this weekend. Seattle is trailing Texas 5-1, and California's ahead of Oakland 2-0. If those scores held, there would be a playoff in Seattle tomorrow for the American League title. And there's Rich Aurelia again. Wow.
His 2nd of the ballgame, his 9th of the series.
I'll tell you what. Rockies have absolutely no clue how to pitch this guy. Billy Swift threw him some sweeping sliders yesterday, and he looked terrible. But that's about the only pitch that's given him problems.
As well as he hits here, I'd trade for him.
Here's Manwaring. I was kidding Bobby Bonds before the game. I said, great scouting report in Aurelia. He says, man, he surprised me. He had 5 previous at-bats, and then watching him in batting practice, he couldn't hit a ball out of the infield. I said, well, all he needs is 50,000 fans to get him going. No balls and a strike to Manwaring. Aurelia now 2 for 2 with an RBI. Manwaring has bounced out and hit a sacrifice fly. The difference right now, those 2 sacrifice flies by Aurelia and Manwaring. Fastball high. A ball and a strike. Texas 5, Seattle 1 in the 5th. California 2, Oakland nothing in the 2nd. Chuck Finley is pitching against Todd Stottlemyre in that game. Nice stop by Girardi. Still 7-7 in the 7th at Chicago.
Dodgers now have tied the Padres in the 2nd 1-1.
Astros threatened in the top of the 7th, but did not score, and now the Cubs come on in the bottom half. How about Raul Mondesi last night? Carried off the field on a stretcher Friday night and hit the game-winning homer last night.
And he just collapsed, didn't he, as he rounded the base, twisted his knee?
Played with a heavy knee brace last night. 2-1 count to Manwaring, and it's inside 3-1. So we'll talk about those 3-1 counts, and we'll also check out the runner Aurelia to see if he's going. Thompson cannot afford to make a mistake here. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and missed. Throw is going to be in the center field.
Girardi airmailed that one over Walt Weiss.
So going to third is Aurelia. It's a stolen base and an error, and the Rockies going to have to do some good work to save a run here.
Here it is. This is the 3rd error on the Rockies in the ballgame. And Walt is really up the ladder, but simply cannot get that last step.
You know, the amazing thing, sometimes you get punished for effort. Walt Weiss, you can't jump any higher than that. He can't, and it hit the tip of his glove. Had it not, then maybe Aurelia wouldn't have gone to third because Burks was charging, but it deflected the ball. Manwaring takes inside, and I do believe that's ball 4. It is, and Mark Leiter will hit. Well, we know Leiter's not much of a hitter from the other night. He came in with an average of around 100. But you got to worry about a squeeze. You got to look maybe for a sacrifice bunt just to send Manwaring to second for Marvin Bernard.
He has 8 sacrifice bunts.
He is squared, pulls the bat back and tries to chop it. No balls and a strike. Leiter's average, .098, 6 hits, 61 at-bats, but he has knocked in 5 runs. And the guessing game goes on here as Wendell Kim gives a sign to Leiter. Tries to bunt, does. It's a fair ball. EY is going to be late to first and gets there just in time. Whoa. Runner had to hold at third.
And watching the top right of your screen, Girardi is on it immediately, and EY slow on the break. And then he picks up speed and just gets there in time. And heads up play by Girardi. He got to it very quickly, realized the situation, and then he simply waited. Didn't rush to throw it off. Made sure that EY was there.
Marvin Bernard. I never thought I would be saying Marvin Bernard in that tone. Don Baylor is on the way to the mound. He does have a left-hander throwing in the bullpen. And we will just have to see.
From an announcer's standpoint, a little sideline, we weren't so worried about how Marvin Bernard was going to hit. He spells his last name B-E-N-A-R-D. We want to make sure how to pronounce it.
We've learned.
We've learned.
So Lance Painter will be the Rockies pitcher to come in and go after Marvin Bernard. Good job by Mark Thompson.
Just look at those stats. Stitches has 12 home runs in just 7 games. It's amazing that he's kept his cover on. There's the pitch. It's a steal. Stitcher's thrown to second. He missed. It's a great steal by the Rockies. And speaking of steals, Domino's has the family feast. Now at Domino's, you can get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas, 4 cans of soft drinks, and an order of twisty bread, all for only $13.99. There goes Stitches again. He's hit. He's out of here.
It's the fall for comfort with Schuler Gold Line and Comfort Therm insulation. Comfort Therm starts with quality Schuler fiberglass. Then it's encapsulated in 2 film coverings. Installation's a breeze because the vapor retarder's built in. Comfort Therm's sturdy polyface resists tearing, yet it's soft to the touch with less dust and irritation. And for a limited time, you can receive a free denim shirt or quality Wolverine boots with a qualifying purchase. It's the fall for comfort. Great premiums and quality Schuler products at all Hugh M. Woods locations.
Sights and sounds of high performance are brought to you by Amoco Ultimate Premium Gasoline. The premium more people rank #1 in quality. It's the fuel that can motivate some of the world's most renowned performance vehicles. Amoco Ultimate.
Lance Painter becomes the 3rd Rockies pitcher of the afternoon as Don Baylor calls upon him with runners at 3rd and 2nd and 2 outs. And you can look at a lot of the numbers of Lance Painter, but the one that stands out on the positive side, he has retired 27 of 32 first batters he faces, 84%. And that's exactly what Baylor is looking for right here, to get out Marvin Bernard. Painter worked an inning on Thursday night. Bernard singled to start the first inning, flied out, and struck out. Bernard with a good speed. You got to be careful that he might not drag a bunt. Some hamstring problems on the right side of the diamond. 2 outs, 2 on. Giants lead by 2. And Painter needs to get an out. 1 ball, no strikes. Mike Benjamin, a right-handed hitter on deck, and the Rockies do have, I believe, Roger Bailey throwing in the pen. Fly ball to left. Dante's got to retreat. Still going back. Got it. Whoa. Close again. But again, the Rockies save runs. They saved one with the brilliant Burke sketch, and they get a key out there. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 8-6 Giants.
You'd expect a car like this to specify a premium gasoline like Amoco Ultimate, but you might be surprised to learn that a premium like Ultimate is also recommended for optimum performance in this vehicle. And this one. Plus, Ultimate is the premium more people rank #1 in quality. No wonder Ultimate always seems to travel in the best circles. Amoco Ultimate Premium Gasoline.
The greatest pro athlete, Jerry Rice.
Hank Aaron.
Don, 4 Super Bowls.
755 home runs, Mike.
137 touchdowns.
305 lifetime batting average.
Don, exactly how many times were you hit in the head by a baseball?
About as many times as you changed jobs, Mike.
Check.
Introducing the new Rockies personalized checking and credit cards from Bank One. Now sports fans have something to agree on. Maybe.
You had to sell it.
No, you had to sell it.
No. You had to sell it.
No.
Oh, I developed a taste for coffee when I was about 5 years old. I was a very nervous child. Just kidding. Now I own a coffee shop. I use US West Cellular service all the time. I call the bakery. I call home. I call my wife. I can call my mom. I can call the growers to find out where the fresh beans are. I can call Brazil. That's South America. The pizza guy can call me, kind of a switcheroo. I can pretend I'm talking to someone and not be talking at all. Actually, I have to do this first, the flipping, and then talk. It's called US West Cellular service.
Baseball is brought to you by Bank One, doing whatever it takes to meet your banking needs. By King Soopers, where our people make the difference 24 hours a day. By AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Zima, the refreshing alcohol beverage.
There's Sean Barton doing a little exercising. He probably figures at some point in this game he may be called on probably to pitch to Larry Walker or John Vanderwall. It's the thought process that goes through his mind. Meanwhile, Mark Leiter has pitched very well, allowed only a bloop single in an inning and 2/3. Girardi starts it off, 1 ball, no strikes. Joe was up there when Ely got picked off. Mark Leiter has shown a very quick move to first base. He's deliberate. It's nothing like Armando Reynoso, but he seems to have good timing on that move. Girardi chops one foul at the plate. 1-1. Well, it certainly has been a season to remember for so many of the Rockies. Joe with a career high in runs, hits, home runs, RBIs. And he was Wednesday Joe for a while. It seems though every Wednesday he would have a brilliant game. I told him he wasn't very smart, though, because we can't televise on Wednesday. ESPN does. He never got player of the game. Girardi down the line, fair into the corner, extra bases. Joe around first, and Bonds polices it up. A double, a lead double here in the 5th.
And here's a look from deep down the line. As you can see, it is just fair as he comes over the back. And Girardi has his 17th double of the year, his 2nd hit of the ball game. He leads off the 5th.
Lead double for Joe Girardi, and here's Dante. Sacrifice fly in the 1st inning, hit a fly ball to center in the 3rd. 0 for 1 officially with an RBI, number 128. Dante, slow tapper. If this stays fair, it's a base hit, and it's fair. Matt Williams could do nothing, and we told you all year about the foul lines, how they do not slant here. And Larry Walker has a chance.
And watch it just like Matt Williams was watching it. He wanted to hit the edge of the grass because it hurry, come on, and it, once he gets to the bag, it's going to be a fair ball. Trivia quiz. Whizzey's Lotto jackpot, $4 million. The answer is
Pirates and Red Sox, first one, 1903.
What about Rockies in Cleveland for this year?
Walker a homer his last time up. Bouncing ball, base hit right field. Here's Girardi, he'll score. Dante will go to 3rd. It's a 1-run game. Have hit 3 ground balls in the inning. They have been hitting the right spot. One just over the bag for a double. One hit so slowly that Matt Williams couldn't do anything. And then Walker split Benjamin and J.R. Phillips at first base. Season to remember? I would guess for Andres Galarraga, who tells us that his dream is to get into the championship series, the longest tenure of any National Leaguer who has not played in the postseason. 1,307 games. Andres says, I've been waiting 17 years for this day. He came to America when he was just 17 years old. Rip! Base hit! Walker will go at least to 3rd. We're tied. Galarraga will go on one leg to 2nd and be in with a double. Playing off the line. Tying run scored. Walker goes to 3rd, and look at the big cat. Jamming the leg and everything, running on one wheel. Rockies have battled back 8-2 deficit to tie it here in the 5th inning at 8. Burks, ground ball. This one is just foul. I'll tell you, it's been an inning. The Rockies have not gotten the ball airborne in the inning, but everything has been in the right place to this point. And Dusty Baker is going to come out and talk to Mark Leiter.
2 doubles, 2 base hits, 2 runs in, 2 RBIs. The Giants 8 runs on 9 hits in an error. The Rockies now 8 runs as they have tied it on 11 hits and 3 errors.
I think Dusty probably just asking Mark, how do you feel? Maybe talking a little situational. He does have an open base with Vinny Castilla next.
He's got a right-hander and left-hander up in the bullpen.
Rockies fans are aware of some of the comments that Mark Leiter has made, although talking to several Giants people, they said, yes, he did say he thought the Rockies were cocky, but the other stuff that was attributed to him, he said, was a total misquote. And I know of Mark Leiter and his personality and character. I believe what he says. One ball, 1 strike to Ellis Burks. I hope that didn't spoil anybody's party, but obviously the fans here want to see Leiter get a loss on next to his game. No decision for Brett Saberhagen, but that's not really foremost in his mind right now. Burks stays off a breaking ball. 2-1.
Sean Barton is the left-hander up for the Giants. Scott Service is the right-hander.
Service has a good breaking ball to right-handed batters.
Brian Ricard.
Rockies
is up for the right.
Giants playing back. Burks fouls it off. 2-2. Ground ball should score 1 unless it's back to the mound. Larry Walker, he with the good wheels at third. Andres, when he's healthy, has been a much faster base runner this year, but he's running better today than he was yesterday. And 2 strikes to Ellis Burks. Got him. Fastball inside corner, and Leiter made a pitch. So Mark Leiter, Ellis had the outside protected and the split finger protected, and Leiter threw a fastball on the inside corner.
And Burks is the first Rocky to strike out in the ballgame.
Sometimes you have to tip your cap to the pitcher. Giants infield still back. They'll concede a run if Vinny can put it in play. Ground ball to third, and it's going to be fouled. Leiter obviously has that split finger pitch working. The Rockies will keep beating it in the dirt. Season to remember, I would guess, for Vinny Castillo. Starter on the All-Star team, career high homers, ribbies. Most home runs ever by a Mexican-born player. Put an exclamation point on the season here with a big hit. Ground ball, it'll score a run. And to first, out, but the Rockies take a 9-8 lead.
Vinny's second RBI of the ballgame.
Vinny reaches the 90 plateau and runs batted in. So the Rockies have 3 with 100, and Vinny Castillo with 90. Walt Weiss the hitter. John Vanderwall has moved to the on-deck circle, so that may dictate why the Giants will pitch to Weiss. Walt out of play. Cat's got to concentrate on getting a pretty good lead here because of the bad leg. The only outfielder I think that could throw him out would be Barry Bonds because he plays fairly shallow and charges the ball so hard. They've gone to the 8th at Wrigley Field, and the game is still tied at 7. Rockies 9, Giants 8. A long ways to go in this one. Just the 5th inning. Weiss fouls it off. 0-2 the count. The Rockies have found a lot of different ways to do it of late. Yesterday, 3 consecutive bunt hits. Today, they have not gotten a ball airborne in the 5th inning. Everything's been on the ground. I think this game's just worn him out. Me too, pal. It's a long ways to go. Weiss 0 for 2 today. RBI number 25 on the series. Way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield plays well to hit a little bit the other way as he waits on Leiter's delivery. Looper down the line. If it's there, it's another run. It is. An extra base hit for Walt Weiss. 10-8 as Cat scores. And the hits just keep coming.
This has been an inning of down the line. This time it's down the other line. Walt Weiss with the double, his 25th RBI as the Cat comes limping home. And the Rockies lead by 2, 10-8.
John Vanderwall is coming on, and he'll be walked intentionally. So EY, who has had an outstanding day so far, all he would need is a double to hit for the cycle. And the Rockies have come back trailing 8-2. Going to the bottom of the 3rd. They scored 4 in the 3rd and 4 more here in the 5th to take a 10-8 lead.
And what this also means is that John Vanderwall, at the end of this season, now holds the Major League pinch hit record with 28. That is the new standard that they'll be shooting for in the future.
Eric Young. Triple homer single for EY, and the fans are on their feet.
The 9th Rocky to come to the plate.
1 ball, no strikes. Whoa, he had a rip. 1-1. Okay, EY, you had your home run cut. Cut it down. This stadium is roaring. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Throw back to first, and Vanderwall just gets back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rockies lead by 2. Want more. Chicago, Derek May, a former Cub playing for Houston, has a chance to hit for the cycle today, and he's at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to EY. It was close.
EY just might hit another home run today, too. He does that late in the season.
Yeah, he did it in 93. Take a soft single, a double. Anything positive here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 2 aboard. Laid off. It's a full count. began with Girardi doubling inside the third base line. And Dusty Baker, who has done everything this series to maintain the integrity of baseball, he's got his best pitcher out there. Runners will be going. Ely, a little blooper behind third, but Barry Bonds will get there. He's got it. The Rockies will settle for a 4 spot. We go to the 6th. There's your score.
Can a car that pushes the envelope of design and technology hold the line when it comes to price? Consider the innovative Dodge Stratus. There's an advanced multi-valve engine, dual airbags, air conditioning, cassette stereo. In fact, more standard features than Ford Contour, Nissan Altima, and Honda Accord. More passenger room, too. And Stratus offers one more innovation, better value, and a price starting at just $14,995. Dodge Stratus. It's full of answers.
A lot of folks in Johnson City, Tennessee will tell you when you need a part for your car, go to AutoZone. The parts are top quality, the prices are low, and the people are helpful, like Gary Jennings. You see, when it comes to auto parts, folks will tell you Gary really knows his stuff. Oh, sure, they know there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Gary, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
The Rockies were down at one point in the ballgame, 8-2. Oh, it has been an uphill battle.
It really has, and they just never gave up. Mark Thompson came in and shut them down. Lance Painter got a key out. The Rockies have to get 12 more outs in this game, and we mentioned earlier, with everything on the line like this, each pitch, each out is just so crucial. And again, the magic number is 12. That's the number of outs the Rockies need to get to win this game, assuming that the Giants don't get a whole bunch of runs in between.
And remember, Rockies win this afternoon. They are the wild card team. Also, if Houston loses, then the Rockies are the wild card team, and Houston still is tied 7-7 there in the 8th, and that one at Wrigley Field.
But Houston is threatening, I was told in the last report.
If both win, the Rockies are in. So you win and you're in for the Colorado Rockies. That's the battle cry right now.
Well, Brian Ricard is going to be making his first Major League appearance in relief. Ricard pitched here on Thursday night. Did not pitch well. But afterwards, Don Baylor and Brian Ricard had a little chat, and it was really meant to build Brian's confidence. And let's see how that might play into the scenario today. Well, the Rockies, the good news is, have a 2-run lead. The bad news, you turn right around, and it's that same duo coming at you. Benjamin will lead it off, but then Bonds, Williams, Carrion, Phillips, Aurelia, all swinging the bats well today. Benjamin's been aboard twice. Mike fouls one out of play. Benjamin's sacrifice reached on a single and reached on an error. Brian Ricard coming out of the pen. The 0-1 to Benjamin is a breaking ball strike. 0-2. You got to like the way he starts. No balls, 2 strikes. Scoreboard, maybe a little prophetic. They have the count of 0-3 up there. Maybe they know something we don't. 1-2. Board changed. Mike Benjamin, who had 14 hits in 3 games earlier this year, 3 consecutive games, lines, but Walker is closing in on this one, and that's out number 1. Bad place to hit it if you're Mike Benjamin.
Attention baseball fans, if you like fastballs and home runs, you'll love NASCAR Winston Racing Excitement. Presented by Coors every Saturday night through October the 2nd. Coors presents it at the Colorado National Speedway, located just off I-25 at exit 232. By the way, speaking of Coors, happy birthday to Brad Coors. Young Brad is the big 3-0.
Here is Barry Bonds. Well, time was not called, I don't think. If Ricard would have delivered that pitch, it would have counted. Bouncing ball towards Cat, fair. Andres to Ricard, covering in time. And that's 2 quick big outs here in the 6th. Astros have scored in Chicago.
Third baseman, number 9, Matt Williams.
So the Cubbies probably have to retire the Astros yet in the 8th and find a way to come back. But for a team like the Cubs that became the first team this century to come from behind 6 times in one game to win a game, what's coming back just once? Here's Matt Williams. Matty has hit a long home run, reached on an error, and then bounced into a double play. And Brian Ricard has retired the first 2 hitters here in the 6th inning. One ball, no strikes. Been times when we've looked at the rock pile this year lately that even though they were sellouts, you wouldn't see too many. You would see some empty seats. You don't see very many out there today, as in none.
I think also this is one of those games, this is such a fan-friendly ballpark. If it's on the concourse, this is a ball game to remember. I think that the fans are staying in their seats and watching every pitch here today.
2-0 pitch. Not close. 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. But no big picnic behind with Mark Carrion with the series he's having. So Ricard, see if he can come back against Matt Williams. Strike call. Rockies with 10 outs to go in this one. Brian Ricard staring down at Girardi. Swung on and missed, 3-2. Matt did not chase a good pitch.
And here is a pitch from Ricard. Oh, yeah.
One hop slider. Matt was looking fastball all the way. Williams is not seeing the ball terribly well this series. And for that, the Rockies have been fortunate. He has hit 2 home runs on bad mistakes up in his eyes. But the ball down, he has not been seeing as well as he does when he's in a good groove. Full count, 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 6th inning. Williams stays tough at 3-2. Tony Eusebio hit a sacrifice fly in the top of the 8th. That gave the Astros the lead. So Houston, talking about coming off the shelf, they came from 6 runs back, as have the Rockies today. Houston was down 6-0 in the 3rd. Williams base hit up the middle. Ely might get there. Even if he did, he couldn't throw anybody out. So Matt Williams gets a 2-out single here in the 6th inning. And a fairly decent pitch. That'll bring on Mark Carrion. Strikeout, double, line out. Great catch by Ellis Burks back in the 4th. Carrion in the series, 8 hits in 18 trips. Foul ball, strike 1. Yankees have won the wild card in the American League. Same scenario they would have had over here in the National League, but if things stay the same in the American League with Texas and Seattle and California and Oakland, they will have to play off in Seattle tomorrow. Check swing foul. Right now, Kenny Rogers and the Texas Rangers are leading Seattle 7-3 in the 6th, and the Angels are ahead of Oakland 5-1 in the 3rd. Just about the time 4 or 5 days ago, everybody handed the Seattle Mariners the Western Division crown. The Angels, who had been pathetic, have won 5 of 6. And we love to see teams come off the mat like that. Carrion out on strikes. So Brian Ricard made short work of Mark Carrion. The Rockies are down to 9 outs to win this game. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
On the next Home Improvement, Tim discovers Jill's dark secret.
So I enjoy cheap romance and drama.
Can Tim deliver?
What are you doing?
I'm flying, honey. Don't let go of that rope.
What happened?
I pulled my groin.
What's that?
My very favorite muscle.
Just when things start to heat up.
Carry me.
Will Tim carry the weight?
That is no boy. That's my man.
Home Improvement.
10 out of 10 on Denver's 2.
Rockies manager Don Baylor demonstrates the fundamentals.
First, you need the right equipment. Next, you need the proper stance. Finally, there's the swing.
As the official paper of the Colorado Rockies, only the news gives you inside information on the team and nationally known reporters.
Now, here's the pitch.
Earn $500 a month delivering Colorado's #1 newspaper. Call 892-CASH.
The greatest pro athlete, Jerry Rice.
Hank Aaron.
Don, 4 Super Bowls.
755 home runs, Mike.
137 touchdowns.
305 lifetime batting average.
Don, exactly how many times were you hit in the head by a baseball?
About as many times as you changed jobs, Mike.
Check.
Introducing the new Rockies personalized checking and credit cards from Bank One. Now sports fans have something to agree on. Maybe.
You had to sell it.
No, you had to sell it.
No. You had to sell it.
No.
Today's game summary is brought to you by Bank One. Eric Young has had a huge day, as have many Rockies. He is hit for 3/4 of the cycle. Rockies rally from a 8-2 deficit. And they'll start off with Girardi, Bichette, and Walker. And we have a new pitcher for the Giants, and it is Scott Service, right-hander with a good breaking ball. Gone to the bottom of the 8 in Chicago, and the Astros leading 8-7. Service, who came over as part of that big trade, he came along with Deion Sanders, David McCarty, a couple of them, Service, John Roper. That deal sending Dave Burba, Mark Portugal outside, 1 ball, no strikes. And Darren Lewis to the Cincinnati Reds. Girardi fouled, nope, fair ball, left field. Thought it was going to be foul. Long run. Aurelia and Bonds, and somebody caught it, but there's a couple of headaches in the meantime. Barry is hurt, and so is Aurelia, as they cracked heads.
And Aurelia got it, I believe.
Barry holding his eye. I don't know if he sustained a cut or what. A lot of crowd noise. Both of them were calling it. Sometimes you can't hear.
And it is Aurelia who comes up with it.
And Aurelia immediately grabs the back of his head and Bonds the front of his. Oh. Mercy. Bonds' face hits Aurelia the back of his head, and Barry is obviously bleeding from around the lip. Marco and Tom, the trainer of the Giants, working, and assistant trainer working on Aurelia. The head trainer always gets Bonds in this situation.
Is it pecking order into injuries?
Yeah. No, you don't like to see anybody hurt.
No.
It's obviously not horribly serious, but Barry is, I think he's a little woozy in addition to getting hit in the mouth. You saw his head really snap back, almost like a whiplash. Aurelio sustained a cut as well. Well, maybe while they attend to that, I can do a little scoreboard keeping for you. Jason Isringhausen, the Mets' phenomenal player in Bonds, leaving the field. I don't know if he's going to come out of the game or he's just going to go in to get repaired. But Berry obviously upset.
He's leaving the game. He tosses his cap to the fans.
Not happily either.
No, no. He's a competitor.
Yeah.
Well, what a great souvenir for someone in the crowd.
Well, something happened that really upset Berry. I don't know. I'm sure Berry feeling that when he calls the ball that Aurelia ought to be out of here. And Bond's talking to himself. We're going to look at the replay of him firing his hat.
There it is.
And we see
Mark Leonard.
Mark Leonard is going to go into left field. And it appears that Aurelia is going to leave. Take another look. Aurelia's head goes right back into Bonds' chin. So we'll wait to see in Aurelia. We assume Berry is out from the way he left. And you hate to see anything like that happen. And regardless of the fact that those two guys have done a lot of damage to the Rockies in this series, again, you just don't like to see this. Steve Scarsone is going to go to second. That'll move Mike Benjamin to third. And Leonard is in left field. So we'll just have to wait and see on the batting order where Dusty Baker inserts the two. He could go with Leonard, let's see, in Aurelia's spot, because the left-handed batter would get up there second next inning as opposed to putting Scarsone up there. So Steve Scarsone will play second. Mike Benjamin moves to shortstop. And we'll keep an eye on the home plate umpire, Ed Rapuano, and he'll give us a signal whether they're going to go straight up or they're going to flip-flop into the positions they went into. He's going to go over and talk to Don Baylor first. Looked like he said the left fielder Leonard was going to hit third, which is a little bit of a surprise. Yep. We'll address it when it's important, like when the Giants come on to hit. Scarsone is hitting third. That's what we thought they would do, and Leonard is going to be batting in the number 7 role. Here's Dante Bichette. One out here. Breaking ball misses. Joe Girardi hit a towering fly down the left field line, and because of so much crowd noise, both players were calling for it, and I'm sure they probably didn't hear each other. 1-0 to Dante. High fly ball, shallow left. Leonard started back and comes on for the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th innings. Here's Larry Walker. He's had a couple of slap shots today. One he slapped over the center field fence for a 2-run homer, and then he singled a drive in a run his last time. He began the day with 98 RBIs, now has 101. Breaking ball strike. Season to remember, I would guess for Larry Walker as well. Most home runs in a season by a Canadian-born player. Walker rips it, but it's foul. Larry, throughout just about the last week, has very rarely taken batting practice. Like most players at this time of year, is tired, wants to conserve everything he has for the ball game. No balls, 2 strikes to Walker. And Service delivers, and Walker just nicked it for a foul. Count stays 0-2. started to mention that Jason Isringhausen of the New York Mets, he is going to be a great pitcher. He won his final 8 starts this year, and the Mets beat the Braves. Walker hit for the 14th time this year. That establishes a new record. And Larry, just go to first base. Don't want any kind of an altercation that would cause you to have to leave the game. And he takes the smart route. When you have a lead, you never want Walker out of the game. When you have a lead with that defense of his.
Here's the look. He is inside all the way. There's no way to turn far enough away to get away from him. And like you said, in a ball game like this, when you've got a lead,
well, even if you're behind, Larry can't go out. So the big cat doubled his last time up, driving his 106th run. Walker picked off. And now Larry's going to try to make it back to first. He's going to stay in the pickle for a while. Look at Walker work. Out. Well, Larry got hung out to dry. The Rockies have had 2 picked off today. Great move by Service. And Larry Walker is out. And that'll do it for the Rockies in the 6th. To the 7th we go. Rockies by 2.
Silver bullet is shipped cold to tap the clean taste of the Rockies. Tap the Rockies!
Can a car that pushes the envelope of design and technology hold the line when it comes to price? Consider the innovative Dodge Stratus. There's an advanced multi-valve engine, dual airbags, air conditioning, cassette stereo. In fact, more standard features than Ford Contour, Nissan Altima, and Honda Accord. More passenger room, too. And Stratus offers one more innovation, better value, and a price starting at just $14,995. Dodge Stratus. It's full of answers.
Presents the Major League Notebook. Well, in a season that needed some push, baseball got it. Cal Ripken, what a brilliant evening in Baltimore. The all-time record. No more mistakes by the lake. The Indians won 100 games in a shortened season. Seattle, Boston, California, certainly some prizes. Maddox, another great year. Of course, the Rockies and the Major League leading attendance. We go to the 7th inning. Here's Charlie Jones.
Top of the 7th, the Rockies are out in front by 2. Colorado now with 10 runs on 12 hits and 3 errors, and the Giants have 8 runs on 10 hits and an error. And here is J.R. Phillips. And this is a fair ball, and Phillips down the line. And down the line has been a favorite saying of the announcers this afternoon, not only for us, but also for the Giants, and J.R. Phillips is at second. He has his 9th double of the year. And it's a leadoff double. And in the past, if you've been with us this afternoon, every time the Giants have had a leadoff hit, they've been able to turn that into runs. They're now down only by 2 here in the top of the 7th. Meanwhile, 9th inning, Wrigley Field, Houston up by 1, 8-7 over the Cubs. The scenario, a victory by the Rockies. They are the wild card team. A loss by the Astros. The Rockies are the wild card team. A win by the Astros, a loss by the Rockies. They will play here tomorrow to see who will be the wild card. Here's Mark Leonard.
No, it's Scarsone. They switched it up on the field.
Again. Okay. Here's Scarsone with the bunt. Ricard fields it and throws him out. And then he moves Phillips over.
Well, I don't know if they should give him a sacrifice there, but they do. But he was running for a base hit. So the Giants trailing by 2. You're not going to lay down a sacrifice bunt there, but Scarsoni gets the man to third, and here's Manware.
Kurt Manwaring has an RBI on a sacrifice fly in the ballgame. Also has bounced out and on in a walk. He was stranded in the 5th. Meanwhile, J.R. Phillips is over at third with 1 away here in the top of the 7th. This one is foul back to the screen. In the 6th in San Diego, the Dodgers and the Padres are tied at 1. Again, the outcome of that ball game has no reflection on the standings or the playoff hopes of the Colorado Rockies. The Dodgers take the West. They will be hosting on Tuesday the Cincinnati Reds. No balls and a strike. The count to Kurt Manwaring. And this one is high and deep, and Bichette is going back to the track. He makes the running grab, but the run is going to score, and it's now a 1-run ball game. So Manwaring with a sacrifice fly, his 2nd RBI of the ball game, and his 36 on the year.
Good concentration by Dante. Getting back, he got a good jump on it. That is 5 sacrifice flies in this game. I'm going to have to start checking and seeing what the major league record for one game is.
Number 22, David McCarty, is going to be the hitter.
Now batting for the Giants in place of the pitcher of service, number 22.
McCarty in the series is 1 for 6. And there are 2 away as the Giants have pulled within 1. Brian Ricard in his 2nd inning in relief and his first relief appearance in the major leagues. He comes over the top and he stays high. And the count is 2-0 to McCarty. Ricard came in the 6th. He gave up a single to Matt Williams. That was a 2-out single. Then he struck out Mark Carey on 3 straight pitches. But now the double to Phillips, a sacrifice fly. A run is scored here in the 7th. The Rockies lead by 1. And Ricard is behind 3-0 to McCarty, and that calls for a quick conference.
Charlie, I think that was on a signal from Don Baylor. Baylor has a left-hander warming in the bullpen, and with Marvin Bernard up next.
Ruffin is up.
Ruffin is up, so just wanted to buy a little time for Ruffin to get loose.
Here's the 3-0 pitch, and he's taking a strike. This has really been a seesaw battle for the crowd. They've been up and down about 5 or 6 different times in the ballgame. Meanwhile, they also check out the score at Wrigley Field. This is bending in the corner. It's going to be a fair ball, and McCarty will head for second as Walker polices it up deep in the corner. So a 2-out double for McCarty. And now we will go to the top of the order is Marvin Bernard. Bernard 8 hits now in the series. He's 1 for 3 this afternoon.
You know, no sign of Baylor yet, but you figure he's going to come soon and right on cue. He's not going to let Marvin Bernard hit against a right-handed pitcher here, and then we'll see if Dusty will switch.
All right, and while they make the switch here, Jim Conrad is going to step in and join us for a moment as soon as he gets all hooked up. Take your time, Jim. There's no big rush. Have another post-game show set up for us today. That was a fun one yesterday. I really enjoyed being a part of it, and enjoyed what all you were doing, with the interviews, and also what was going on, in the clubhouse.
It was a lot of fun, Charlie. We had virtually everybody and anybody on the show, and we're going to try and do that again today. And of course, they're going to hopefully take a little victory lap around the stadium today, and it should be a lot of fun. We're going to try and cover all the bases again.
You are assuming the victory, of course.
Well, I'm trying to assume that, but keep our blood pressure going up and down there.
Oh, yes.
We're down to only 7 outs to go. We've been kind of counting them ever since the Rockies took the lead.
Has this game seemed like forever?
Yes.
To me, it has.
Oh, yes.
You know what? I'm thinking back, and thinking about that game in San Francisco last Sunday. I'm going, is that only a week ago? It seemed like it was a month ago. This last week has had so much pressure. Time has just seemed to stand still.
Well, I was out in L.A. with you guys last week, and it seems like last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was forever ago. You just keep hoping that they're going to hang on here and win this one and take all that pressure off of everybody.
Meanwhile, we keep looking at the scoreboard, and the Cubbies aren't helping at all. Houston in the ninth is still one up there.
I'll tell you what, that 4-game series, anybody who had 4 tickets to that got their money's worth out of that series. That's for darn sure.
Just like they have here. All right, thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you after the ball game.
All right, fellas. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bring home.
All right, we're working on it. Bruce Ruffin is now on the mound for the Colorado Rockies. He went 2/3 of an inning yesterday, a pair of outs before experiencing some wildness. He walked a pair and eventually charged with a run. He's been touched for 2 runs over his last 11 outings, covering 9 2/3 innings, and over 36 outings this year has been scored upon on just 6 occasions. And only 5 of the 16 runners that he has inherited this year have crossed the plate.
Well, just to give you as current an update as we can from Chicago as we keep an eye on both games. Of course, this one is the most important, but we certainly want to keep an eye on that one. The bottom of the 9th inning, the Cubs are down by 1, but they have the top of their order, Brian McRae, Howard Johnson, and Mark Grace up. And McRae just grounded out, so there's 1 out in the 9th inning.
Brian Ricard went 1 2/3 in relief, did a good job.
He did. All of a sudden, the lead double by Phillips. And when we mentioned the word lead lately, it's like just have him just take a pass and just go straight across home plate.
Here's Marvin Bernard, and on the mound is Bruce Ruffin, and it's a ground ball to second. EY up and away, and that is it. So we're now in the middle of the 7th, and the Rockies rule by 1.
In 1873, the beer my family brewed up here was shipped straight to nearby mining towns. It was special. Not heavy and thick like other beers of the day, but one that would really quench a working man's thirst. The secret to that crisp, refreshing taste is still part of our beers. And it will be, as long as the Coors name's on the label.
You know, a lot of people who work on their cars will only shop at AutoZone. They depend on us for the best quality parts and low prices every day. They come in, get what they need, and then get back to work. Because you see, they believe if you want the job done right, you do it yourself. Well, at AutoZone, we couldn't agree more. Because when you take the time and the effort to work on your car yourself, you ought to be choosy about where you shop. We just thank you for choosing AutoZone.
With the reliability of the most powerful V8 in its class, full-time 4-wheel drive, anti-lock disc brakes, and dual airbags, think of the new Jeep Grand Cherokee as the calm during the storm. Now get up to $1,000 in option values on Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
National League scores are brought to you by Coca-Cola. That's the one we're eyeballing. 1 out, bottom of the 9th that we know of. Dodgers, Padres, 1-1 in the 7th. Jody Reed is homered. The Mets beat the Braves 1-0. Wizringhausen pitched, but Walker got the win. The Reds beat the Expos 5-1. Tim Pugh over Facero. Pirates took the Cardinals in their last game of the year, 10-4. And the Marlins ahead of the Phillies, 3-1 in the 3rd.
Mark Dewey is now on the mound for the San Francisco Giants. David McCarty stays in the ball game. Here's Andre Scalaraga, ground ball to short, and he just kind of coasts down, saving that hamstring very quickly. 1 pitch, we have 1 away. So McCarty stays in. He is in right field, so Mark Carrion comes out in the double switch, and Mark Dewey is on the mound.
I think the Rockies got to maybe adopt the philosophy they're behind by 6 runs. All of a sudden they got ahead, and the offense gone a little dead in the water here.
Mark Dewey has made 5 appearances since coming off the disabled list. He was reinstated from the 60-day DL prior to the September 13th contest. He has really been struggling physically. But he's been tough on right-handers. A 184 mark. Only 14 hits by right-handers. However, left-handers hitting is pretty good. 382 club. The paid attendance this afternoon, 4839, 48,039. In-house, 50,179. That is the 55th sellout of the year and 51 in a row. Ellis Burks now with a count of 2 balls and a strike. One away here in the bottom of the 7th, and the Rockies hanging on by 1. The Rockies have 10 runs on 12 hits, and the Giants a like number of hits, 12, but 9 runs. So a 10-9 ball game. And in the 9th at Wrigley, the Astros are still up by 1, 8-7 over the Cubbies.
Cubs first and second, 1 out, and Sammy Sosa up.
Ooh, good situation. Ellis Burks draws the 1-out walk. So with Burks aboard is Vinny Castilla. He's got a pair of RBIs in the ball game. Vinny is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice, once scoring a run. And the sacrifice fly, that was back in the 2nd when he scored Ellis Burks, who was at 3rd. Ellis this time is at 1st, and a throw to 1st, he dives back in. Vinny was 5 hits in the series. So he is 5 for 12 against the Giants here. This one in the gap. It's going to drop in. Taken on the hop by McCarty. They're going, no, they started, Hasse started to wave Burks, and then he put up the stop sign. I thought for a moment that he was going to gamble, but he does not. Castillo with the double. His 34th double of the year, so runners now with 1 away at 2nd and 3rd for the Rockies.
See Vinny heading to 2nd. It's one of those value calls, and Weiss, who had a big RBIs last time up, let's see what the Giants do here. They have an open base.
And that double by Castillo also means that all of the position players for the Rockies have at least 1 hit in the ball game. Here's Walt Weiss. Weiss has a double and an RBI.
Infield in for the Giants.
Sammy Sosa just struck out at Wrigley Field as Walt Weiss halfway across the country fouls this one away. So they're 2 away in the bottom of the 9th at Wrigley Field. Here we have 1 away. We're in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, pretty dramatic from Chicago. Luis Gonzalez, the former Astro, is the last hope for the Cubs.
Pitch out. Nothing happened. Looking for that suicide squeeze that they had seen before.
Well, yesterday it was Girardi executing it.
One ball and 1 strike. Another pitch out.
I'll tell you what, the Giants may even do it 2 more times because I think they probably feel they'd like to set up a double play possibility anyway. Mike Kingery has moved to the on-deck circle.
2 balls and a strike. And now it's 3-1. Now they're going to put him on. Mike Kingery has been announced. So Bruce Ruffin goes a 3rd of an inning. He pops him up.
Infield fly rule, that one hurt. So he had a big day, has a chance to make it a huge day.
That is the second out here in the bottom of the seventh. And the ovation for Eric Young. Single, triple, two-run home run. He has scored twice in the ballgame. Now with two down. And the base is loaded. One ball and no strikes to Eric Young. 3 for 4 today, 6 hits in the series. He fouls this one up. A ball and a strike to count to Eric Young. EY does not have a grand slam home run. It's a fly ball center field. A late jump by Bernard, but he is there, makes the running grab. So here at the bottom of the seventh, the Rockies strand 3. They still lead by 1 as we go to the 8th.
The forecast called for a calm, quiet meeting, but a tempest rages instead. It's often the case in today's international business climate, which is why the employee owners of United have prepared a place high above it all, with worldly comforts that refresh, restore, and renew. United Airlines, the calm before and after the storm. We don't just work here. Come fly our friendly skies.
In the hands of 3 different insurance agents, your home, auto, and life policies could end up full of holes. But call a Farmers Insurance agent for a Farmers Friendly review. And one agent will bring all your policies together, get rid of gaps, and help trim costs. So if you're with more than one company, cut it out. America can depend on Farmers for home, auto, and life.
American League Stars brought to you by the Colorado Lottery. The Yankees clinch a wild card berth, beating the Blue Jays 3-1. Hitchcock to win. Mariners trailing the Rangers 9-3 in the 8th. Angels ahead of the A's 5-1. They could be headed for a showdown game in Seattle tomorrow. The Indians win their 100th. They beat the Royals 17-7. Brewers beat the Red Sox 8-1. Final tune-up for Boston. The Orioles shut out the Tigers second day in a row. Messina won his 19th. And the White Sox beat the Twins 2-1. Well, folks, it's all on the Rockies as we go to Wrigley Field.
Howard Johnson. Here's Simmons. This ball game is over. The season is over. And the Astros are still alive for a wild card. They have beaten the Cubs 8-7. And this season is over. Now it isn't the Cubs.
Well, the Rockies know what they have to do. They have to win, and it's nail-biter here.
So the situation is with the Astros winning here this afternoon at Wrigley Field. If the Rockies win here, they are the wild card. If they lose, there will be a one-game playoff here tomorrow afternoon at 3:05 against the Astros. So we go to the top of the 8th. The Rockies only 6 outs away from capturing the wild card spot in the playoffs. And what a great accomplishment it is, just even to get to this part, the last day of the series, the last day of the season, to have this kind of an opportunity.
Mike Kingery stays in center.
And Darren Holmes is now the pitcher. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. 10 runs on 13 hits for the Rockies, 9 runs on 12 hits for the Giants. And the pitch to Benjamin, it's a high fly ball. Walker should have it. Bites a bit of the sun and makes the play. So a late afternoon sun makes an appearance. We have 1 down, 5 outs to go.
Certainly a key man here from the standpoint of Mark Leonard, who took over for Barry Bonds. If they can keep him off base, then Matt Williams has to hit with nobody on.
One down here in the 8th, and Mark Leonard will step in. Fouls this one off. Leonard in the series is 1 for 3. Making the big club in September for the first time this year. And the 0-1 offer. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Saberhagen started for the Rockies. He went 3+ innings. Followed by Mark Thompson, 2 2/3, and Lance Painter, Brian Ricard, Bruce Rumford, and now Darren Holmes. And here's the 1-1. And it is low. The count 2 balls and a strike to Mark Leonard. And now the sun shines through. We've had some cloud coverage today. And a bit of an advantage for Darren Holmes from sunlight into the shadow. It is foul back.
Leonard is going for it all on one swing there. Well, the advantage offensively, or at least from a pitching standpoint, is it makes it tougher for the hitters to see it. But it also puts Larry Walker in a lot of jeopardy in right field. He's awfully good. But there is a sun problem out there.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. And it's a ground ball to EY up and away. 2 down in the 8th. For Darren Holmes, it has also been a season to remember with career best in games, wins, ERA, and the club leader in saves.
And certainly brilliant jobs in Los Angeles on Tuesday night, and then again yesterday, coming in and getting some very, very big outs to help the Rockies get 2 much-needed wins.
Now 2 down top of the 8th. The Rockies 4 outs away from capturing the wild card. Here's Matt Williams. And your work is not done until you get rid of Matt Williams. He fouls this one back. He has a 2-run home run. He's got a base hit, and he scored another run. He was on an error in the 3rd. On deck is Glenn Allen Hill. And the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. So Holmes now out in front of Matt Williams with 2 away in the 8th. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. He strikes him out. Whoa, Darren Holmes, 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 1.
Pinky and the Parade is taking the world by storm.
Yes.
TV Guide declares there is nothing else like it in prime time.
Is that good?
And the Washington Post raves animaliacally clever. The fun is truly infectious.
It's amazing! It's fantastic!
What's that got to do with anything?
I don't know. They do that on all the infomercials.
Join the fun tonight at 6 on Denver's 2.
No. I'm new to town, and here if I buy 6 months the Rocky Mountain News, the next 6 are free. Then I hear talk of C470, and I'm thinking that new motor oil, and I say better call the news and get that 6 months free. Then I hear talk about Rocky Flats, and I'm thinking those new Western dress shoes, and I say better call the news and get that 6 months free. Then someone asks if I want to see what they're doing with Stapleton, and I'm thinking I loved her as Edith and All in the Family, but not tonight. I got to pick up a pair of Rocky Flats and a few quarts of C470. I say better call the news and get that 6 months free.
For home delivery, call 1-800-892-NEWS.
Uh-oh. Don't look now, Denver, but it's model closeout time again. But why buy a leftover 95 when you can have a brand new 96 at Centennial Chrysler Plymouth for about the same price? With the equipment you want in the color you want. Or choose from Centennial's wide selection of late model used cars and low mileage program cars. All great deal and Doug deals. Even Denver's easy, no hassle financing. So don't settle for somebody's leftovers. See Centennial Chrysler Plymouth. Easy to work with, easy to find. Just east off I-25 on Arapahoe Road.
Colorado Rockies baseball has been brought to you by the Rocky Mountain News, the right paper for business. Call 1-800-892-NEWS for home delivery. By Domino's, the official pizza of the Colorado Rockies. By Powerade, try the new Mountain Blast Powerade, the official sports drink of the Colorado Rockies. Faster, higher, stronger. And by Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep Eagle, the official vehicles of the Colorado Rockies. And here's the pitch to Joe Girardi as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. We're trying to get a lot of our business out of the way. We're hoping to be able to share a victory celebration with everyone. Here is the pitch, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. For the Colorado Rockies, with a sellout today, 3,390,000 plus fans. But not only the fans here in the stands, here at Coors Field, there are other fans that we want to salute this afternoon. Here's the 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike, and that is the fans that have given us on the Rockies television network the highest rating in baseball. We've had a 31 rating at 57 share. That's Super Bowl numbers. Here's the pitch. It's fouled away. What that means is 57% of the sets in use when the Rockies are playing and we're on television, we're watching the Rockies. So on behalf of all of our advertisers, our sponsors, and our whole broadcast crew, and the 11 cameras and the tape machines and the Vince Cam, the super slow motion machine, for all of us, we want to thank you for making this such a great year. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Girardi, a little comebacker, and that will bring up Dante Bichette. Listen for the ovation. Matt Williams doing a little house cleaning at third. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. The Astros have already won, defeating the Cubs 8-7. Dante drives this one into the game. And he is aboard. A 1-out single for Bichette. Bichette has his 2nd hit of the ball game. And what a season to remember for Dante. Leads the major league in home runs, RBIs, hits, total bases, slugging percentage, and club records. Oh, and I tell you, he's got my vote for MVP.
Me too. There's one sad thing.
But neither one of us get a ballot.
We don't get a ballot.
But if they were to send us one, here's Larry Walker. Walker has scored twice in the ball game. He's got a 2-run home run. He's got 3 RBIs, and he drives this one into right center field. Bichette will head for third. Here comes the throw. Walker has the double, and he gets it standing up. He is such a smart baseball player. He steals a base is what he does. His 31st double on the year.
We've talked about how Larry gets those doubles out of would-be singles. You get it busting out of the box. Here he comes. He never hesitates. And we're going to wait and see. The Giants are going to put Galarraga on to pitch to Vinny Castilla. So for the 2nd inning in a row, the Rockies will have the bases loaded with 1 out. They could not cash in. I say Vinny Castilla, excuse me, Ellis Burks. For the 2nd inning in a row, the Rockies have had the bases loaded with 1 out. I said that the number 6 spot is the pitcher spot, and we will have a pinch hitter. We're going to see who it's going to be. Trinidad Hubbard.
It'll be Trinidad Hubbard. Trinidad Hubbard, by the way, was saluted earlier in the ball game as one of the outstanding minor league players for the Colorado Rockies. Trinidad Hubbard, along with Angel Echeverria, Jamie Wright, Derek Gibson, Mark Alessandro, and Samuel Duverse were all saluted before the ball game, and now the long walk for Dusty Baker.
Well, one of two things, either a conference on what they know about Hubbard, or he would make another call to the bullpen. This appears to be of the conference variety. Again, the Rockies had the bases loaded, 1 out in the 7th. Kingery and Ely popped up. You really can't afford to let one more opportunity get away, and Baker will stay with Dewey.
Trinidad Hubbard. What an opportunity for him to cap a season to remember, most of it in the Pacific Coast League. He is 2 for 3 in this series, and every time he has participated, he has brought a great spark to the ball club. Bases loaded, 1 away. Standing ovation. Outside. 1 ball and no strike. Vinny Castilla is on deck if Hubbard can keep it going.
Infield in for a play at the plate.
It is low, ball 2. A comebacker. There is 1. They turn the double play. So Hubbard hits into a comeback double play. And after 8, the Rockies still lead. The margin is 1. We go to the 9th.
Just look at those stats. Stitches has 12 home runs in just 7 games. It's amazing that he's kept his cover on. There's the pitch. It's a steal. Stitches thrown to second. He missed. It's a great steal by the Rockies. And speaking of steals, Domino's has the family feast. Now at Domino's, you can get 2 medium 1-topping pizzas, 4 cans of soft drinks, and an order of twisty bread, all for only $13.99. There goes Stitches again. He's hit. He's out of here.
With the reliability of the most powerful V8 in its class, full-time 4-wheel drive, anti-lock disc brakes, and dual airbags, think of the new Jeep Grand Cherokee as the calm during the storm. Now get up to $1,000 in option values on Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Oh, yeah. You frozen yet?
Just the surface. You?
A little soft in the middle.
We're cracking up back here, boss.
I'm frozen first. I'm frozen down in front. Anything but Coca-Cola and we melt.
I love it. Give me that Coca-Cola.
You fool out!
Hey, nice ceiling fan.
That's Coca-Cola.
Ooh, that tickles.
I'm just gonna float around and soak this up for a while.
Delicious.
Here is today's Coors Player of the Game.
Well, our pick for Manager of the Year, and I think consensus around the league, Don Baylor. He has been steady at the helm all the way through this season, and in his 3-year tenure here, he's going to have to be steady for another half inning.
And not only for today, but for this entire season. And as we salute him, he will receive a $250 gift certificate compliments of the Direct Diamond Importers, the Shane Company. Top of the 9th. Tom Lampkin is the hitter. J.R. Phillips is on deck. And Curtis Liskanek is on the mound. Liskanek, the 7th pitcher of the afternoon. And he opens with a strike. Rockies are up by 1, 10-9. 3 outs away from the wild card. High and outside, it evens at a ball and a strike.
Deep breathing is the order of the day. J.R. Phillips awaits. Strike
2. The Leskanic a scoreless ninth yesterday. A walk and a strikeout.
Curtis taking a lot of deep breaths.
Fouls it back. Count holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Lampkin, the catcher, left-hand hitter, leading up. The top of the ninth, he's hitting in the number 6 spot, the number 5 spot. That's the pitcher spot now for the Giants. He strikes him out. 1 down, 2 to go. J.R. Phillips. Glenn Allen Hill is on deck. Strike 1. Goes flying as he saws it up, and it's a foul ball, strike 2.
Curtis never saw the bat. It was flying over his head as he was breaking over to cover first base. So Curtis ahead of Phillips. No balls and 2 strikes.
1 away here in the top of the ninth. Phillips is a solo home run. He has scored 3 times in the ballgame. He is 2 for 3 with a double, the home run, also on and a walk. He strikes him out. Glenn Allen Hill is the hitter. Strike 1. Base hit. So Hill keeps the game going, a 2-out single.
They will pinch run, I'm sure, for Glenn Allen. And
number 10, Royce Clayton, is going to be the pinch runner.
You got to be careful with Clayton, even though he's got a bad back. He's stolen over 20 bases this year. Jeff Reed is the pinch hitter, and Don Baylor is on his way out. There's not going to be any pitching change. Nobody's up.
Here in the top of the ninth, Leskanic striking out the first 2 batters. Then Glenn Allen Hill with a base hit. Now the pinch runner, Royce Clayton. Quick conference. Jeff Reed is the pinch hitter. Foul back, strike 1. And Reed is the reverse of the same problem that the hitters had earlier. And that is Leskanic is throwing from shadows that will break through sunlight. And then back into the edge of a shadow at the plate is going to jump on it. Also to get on top of the defense in a hurry. And a notion does not go. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Rockies have 10 runs on 15 hits in 3 errors. The Giants 9 runs on 13 hits and 1 miscue. Time is called. Is it going to be a ball? It is time called. The cat has it. The celebration begins. Officially underway. And Curtis Leskanic in super slow motion. He knows. Yes.
Unbelievable heart this team showed this year.
And they do believe. Championship if you do not get to the playoffs. And the Colorado Rockies, in their 3rd year, are in the playoffs. And they are sharing this with the fans here at Coors Field. Truly a season victory lap.
The last thing on the Colorado Rockies' mind right now are the Atlanta Braves. But trust me, tomorrow they will start thinking very hard about the Atlanta Braves, who they will play here Tuesday.
But right now, they savor this victory. Enjoy the wild card. Here's Bob Gephardt. He has to be as happy as any of the ball players here, the architect of the team.
Don Baylor didn't stop believing when they were down 8-2 today. This team just came back and came back and came back all year. And Charlie, I'm so thrilled for so many of them, but for Curtis, who gave it up on Friday night, to have the courage to come back and do what he did yesterday, and more importantly today, absolutely wonderful.
The parade of champions, and what's this? This is a salute from the rock pile. Jerry McMorris, the CEO. And there's the CEO, the skipper, Don Baylor. And also a few hundred miles away to the west, a young man that is enjoying it just as much as his mom and dad, his brothers here, Michael McMorris, who is watching in La Jolla off of the satellite, and we know that he is celebrating just like everybody else is.
Walt Weiss bouncing back from the disastrous game Monday night in Los Angeles to make the play of the game last night and show courage all year long.
As the parade of champions continues at Coors Field.
Man that stepped up huge today. Big home run. Get him back close. RBI single, a double. 1,307 games this man played, the longest of anybody in the National League without making it the postseason. That streak has ended. A young man who came from Mexico, wanted to quit baseball. Father talked him into staying. What a year he had. The Bulldog. He was there day in and day out. He probably feels like a used car right now. Maybe he doesn't. He may feel like a brand new Mercedes. He didn't pitch well today, but his inspirational talk on Friday night sure did not hurt.
For a moment, but don't go away. We have more of the celebration as we continue.
Some run, some swim, some jump.